I'm still in a quandary here as to if we put Brian's house here, is there room for another house behind it? Do we care? Brian's house is, you know, do we just care that they're along, you know, depth-wise, I'm concerned what we're going to run into.
Well, the only thing I'd say there, knowing George, first thing we need to get Brian fairly happy so he can do what he wants to do. The next thing is pacify George now, then when time comes, when it's opportunity to do something else, George is gone. Because George ain't going to sell a damn thing right now to anybody. I don't care if you offer $1 million.
That would be my next question, is that is he going to
So why are we worried
do this
about
again?
it?
Or?
Make sure Brian's happy and a little bit of slot there and go straight through it. Wait till the time is right to go back and do it again. Don't get hung up on a detail or two.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor in a second. At one point you said, Katie wanted to amend it and you wanted to rescind it, so I don't know where I am.
I guess my feelings is we either need to move our meeting out or else we need something here.
You can do it on a map. They can print it off.
Yeah, we need a map.
The seconder would have to, because once a second is
You
made.
need to vote on it.
We have to vote on it, so we need to vote it down.
Okay.
So it would make more sense to go look at a real map than
Yep.
to go walking out there.
Yeah, I don't think we
Yeah.
can see anything walking out
You can see
there.
that in cornfield, bean field, I don't know what it is now, corner beans.
Put each other link to link to figure out how far back it is.
And with that stuff they have out there, they can tell you the footage, they can go down to probably within 5 feet. And from that, they can draw a legal description in because you got it from the point.
So you're suggesting that we just make a motion and it's like,
No.
whatever the
No,
map
no,
looks
no,
like? I'm trying to figure out how to legally put this in our minutes.
Well, what I'd say, you gotta act on Steve's motion.
Right.
If that's decided, then what you need to do is direct either Terry, somebody, to go out, present you with a map of what everybody agrees to vote on that map then at the next meeting, or have a special meeting.
Okay, so we...
Or you can go blindly and say 250 feet south of Highway 16. Making a difference.
How far is your 200-foot go back? Are you farther back than George's house? Are you even with George's house? As the George's house sits more than 200 foot back.
Oh, yeah, that's why I said it's way back in there.
So are you even with Sandy's house? Are you even with John's? I don't know where you are. Try to visually tell me where you are.
I'll be honest truth, I don't
You don't
know.
know?
I don't know where the stake's at in Sandy's yard.
Okay,
She lived there, I didn't drive back in there,
yeah.
so.
Is it possible to make a motion that 20 acres, which is agreeable with all parties concerned and defined as by the legal description provided by whatever you said?
FSA? I don't know.
Can you make that sort of motion?
If the council's comfortable with it, I guess we can.
But you don't know if 20 acres will get you back that 300 feet?
I don't know, see, you'd have to, and
I think you wouldn't be 300 foot back. 200 foot isn't very far.
no, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Well,
Once again, that's why we took, well, let's just take the fence line in, zone that, it'd be easier.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, that's why we did that, but, so we could avoid this. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor, so Katie has to amend it
If Katie wants an amendment, someone has to second the amendment to it.
Yeah, but that would,
just won't go forward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
vote
vote
it
it
down
down,
and start
start
over,
over.
I think.
Okay, Brian, Steve's motion. Okay, all the changes on the map, Gishboller North, Brian and Karen's legal description, and the golf course. Katie seconded. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion defeated. Let's try this again. If you can think of a way to word this next motion.
why don't you instruct Terry to take Brian and George and bring you back a map that they would agree to. In the next meeting, you approve that map as shown.
So then that puts their decision off another month to 6 weeks.
I don't, does that make a difference to you if it's another month?
We can get it done, I guess, you know.
And I'm still not
Terry
voting,
and-
I'm not speaking to the other two people on the country club deal on that, if you put that in that motion. I don't know how, the three that voted against it, I'm one of them, I would probably vote to accept it with the country club in, but I can't speak for the other two people.
Curtis,
That night, it looked like the president of the country club was only just finding out about the building restrictions, the 40 by 40 foot, when that came up. Like he didn't know that before that night.
was that Lee? Is Lee the president? I don't
Yeah.
know who's president. Oh, I see, for residential restrictions on the,
Yes.
If they want to build a new
card.
building.
That looked like new information to him that evening.
It wasn't the first time I'd been presented to a member.
Okay.
But I do agree, he didn't seem to know the effects.
And I would strongly suggest you bring something that we're pretty well sure that the council will agree on, because we don't need this to go on any further. Brian wants to do stuff, council wants to get it passed so we can get moving on to things that are we don't need to be fighting over 30 feet here and there.
Exactly. Okay, I'm open for another motion.
Do you need a motion or just instruct Terry and Brian to get it done?
No, I think we need a motion to do this. We don't want to, yeah, I don't know.
As acceptable by the parties involved, and after a legal description. You can word this, so I think you can move forward if you think about it, dear. You don't think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, why, Katie, you're gonna make a motion? Well, give it to us, Katie.
Well,
So are we
Yeah.
going to include, before we get into this and have to discuss more, are we including the country club or not? I mean, so if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, we're talking about this little piece right here adding into the R1 and that's it.
If that so meets the desires of the description.
yeah, well, we're just now working with getting the Menzer glass property defined so that we can rezone as much of it as he is going to give us permission to do.
So are we going to include the country club as residential or leave it off?
I think we should leave it out.
That's what it sounds like to me, if we want to get this thing going.
Well, if we direct these two people to get us a map, and then we look at it, and then actually make the motion to include it in the rezoning.
So your motion is okay, I want to know if you need to have a decision within the next 30 days, we need to know. Because it's going to take probably 45 or a month and a half
What's
to
the
get
next
this to the
crop now?
council. Are you going to build this
What's that?
Is there
fall?
crop there now, or is it,
Yeah, it's,
well, you won't take, it'll be months for you beans out?
I just soon get together with George and figure it out, like Jim said, and get it done once.
Yeah.
You're not gonna build this fall.
No, and I told you, I would not start a house in the fall. It's went on long enough, it's not gonna happen now.
Yeah. So if we direct, Terry and
Brian and.
Brian and George, do we need another person in there?
Well, if somebody in the zoning board wants to be there.
Well, Terry's our representative.
And I'm not sure FSA will do it, but I think it's their approach right to it.
To
You know
get
Brian, don't you?
together with, what's FSA?
Farm Service Agency.
Farm Service Agency, yeah.
Would Bob's maps be close enough to that? Treasure, or not treasures, assessors.
The assessors?
I think Bob.
I think it can be done. Just put it that, use available maps, so everybody's happy. And it could be done through Bob Street, or NRCS office, it can be done through the assessor's office, or if you have an old photo, I could do it. I can't run a computer like they,
So
it's
you
all GPS out there, it's being big name.
So your motion is
Spit
to
it out.
direct Terry, Brian Menzer, and George Glass to get together with available maps to,
To determine
Fix the west side of 60.
Legal description.